We are Anthony and Amy. We are converting our sit room relay into an off-grid camper van. You should join us on our journey and watch as we work on it over the next few months. We have absolutely no experience, so if we can convert a van, you can do it too. If you would like updates in between videos, follow us on Instagram.
So perfect timing, we've just got our 12 volt cable delivered, which is what we ran out of. And now I'm going to run the wires up through the conduit and follow along to the kitchen. And this is going to be for the cooker ignition. And meanwhile, my little brother and Amy is going to be foil taping around the Kingspan boards. Now this is all going to be Reflectix after, but this is just a little extra safety measure to prevent moisture from getting through. And we'll build this up and make sure with the Earthwool can stay there by jamming it in here to where it sticks out, so it's smooth, and we can do it all across as well. So Aiden's going around cutting all the stick pins, what's too long, and then we're bending them back on itself, and then we're foil taping them. And what I've just done is I've just run the wire that we ran out of. Well, that all needs tightening up, and not too tight but tidying up. Brought it along here, it comes up here, and we've cable tied it all the way along so it's nice and neat, flush with the insulation board, and then come down through the rib, which is going to have conduit down, and then one's for a socket that's going in the kitchen, 230 volt socket, and then these are for the fridge and the cooker ignition. So yeah, and Amy's going round just adding foil tape. She's put Earthwool down the middle and foil taped it for that vapor barrier. It's all going to be Reflectix as well, but this is just to end double protection for moisture reaching the insulation. So yeah, that's where we're at. We're going to carry on doing the foil tape like all around the top of these edges, and I'm going to keep tidying up these wires and cutting out conduit and putting it here where it comes through the rib, so it'll be from here down to here roughly. Over there's fine, it's not going through any ribs, and I need to cut conduit from here to here, and then maybe a little bit here for these. We're also going to be foil taping around the fan, and we're going to be putting Earthwool in these gaps and taping over that as well. We'll probably tape over these strips with strips, which wooden battens are going to attach to. We'll probably do the same here as what we've done up here, and just foil tape over the holes, and the Reflectix will fit nicely around there. But yeah, we're getting the nitty gritty bits done. It doesn't seem like much progress, but it's really tedious things what take a long time, which is easy, but it just takes time. So Earthwool will go in here and foil tape. This will be tidied up and foil tape along here. So as you can see, anywhere that we're coming through ribs, got this conduit. It's a really tedious job, but it needs to be done. And also this is what we mean by what Amy's doing. Doing really well. The other side's really tidy as well. Well done.
Thank you.
Might be a little bit overkill, but all of the stick pins I've just went round and foil taped every single one, just cause there's a hole from the outside to the inside, obviously from the metal to the inside of the van. Even though there's adhesive between the metal, it's just the fact of moisture barrier, vapor barrier. Just going to go around making sure it's all smooth, and Amy's doing an absolutely fantastic job with this first vapor barrier section. She's done a brilliant job. I'm really happy with that. You, well done. Really good, that. See, our thoughts are, you see the Kingspan board? That's pretty much a vapour barrier to the insulation what's inside of there. The only thing we've got to do, Earthwool doesn't have a vapour barrier, so we've got to give it that. We've got to give it a vapour barrier, which is what we're doing here. But we're also going to line it off with Reflectix and foil tape on top. There's definitely no moisture getting through there. So well done, Amy. Really good. Should be proud of yourself. So I've just noticed what Amy was doing. And I think it's a really good idea for anyone else who's wondering. So because there's going to be Earthwool here, it sticks out and it's got nothing to stick to. So what Amy's done is kept the Earthwool in with the diagonal sides and then just come across, which I think is a really good idea, because at the top the gap it's a really big gap here and the Earthwool would have just kept falling out. So I think that's really good. That every job you're doing just brilliant. Just went round, I've tidied up the cable ties, so now the wire sits flush within the top of here. All of the wires will go to the kitchen. So I'm just going to leave the fan wires here until we connect them up, and then we can tidy them up within this section here. But the roof is going to come down a bit more anyway, so I'm just going to crack on now and I'm going to put foil tape around the fans. At the moment we've hit a little bit of a roadblock because I've been foil taping here around the fan, which is fine, but if you look here there's a gap and that leads you through to the ribs, which leads you through to this insulation board. So we need to make sure it's like vapour barriered. Amy's just trying now. I've done an alright job of I'll accept that bit actually. Maybe put a little square on there. I've done an alright job of foil taping it. It's just that gap. Actually, you've done it alright there. Yeah, that's better. So yeah, we're going to do that all the way around then.
So you know what to do.
Oh, you can. Been quite a while and I'm still on this roof fan framing. Got to the wires part. As you can see, I've done loads of little bits. It's not focusing. I've done loads of little bits there just to avoid moisture getting through the little gap with that. And then what I'm going to do is just run a full strip along all the way along here to prevent it getting behind there towards the insulation. And as always, Amy's doing a smashing job. That looks brilliant, that. Really good. Another thing to mention is that we're going to be covering these holes. I did tell Amy to put holes in, but this is going to be where the shower and wardrobe's going to be. So now that Amy's nearly done this whole section of the van, I'm going to go around for glove on because sharp bits of metal in places. I'm just going to smoothing over just to make sure it's all flat, especially along like the edges. At the bottom we're not going to be able to use the foil tape, so we're just going to wait until we're putting the Reflectix on, and then we'll be able to Reflectix and foil tape either sides. But yeah, I'm just going to do that. Amy's done a brilliant job of that. I've finished the fans, which is a very tedious job. It's not so bad just the outside, but I've wanted to do inside as well. I don't know, it's a bit overkill, but all the way around I've just made sure no moisture can get through. And around the wires, You can see how tedious that was. Just loads of little strips around it and stuff. Tiniest gap possible just for the wires to get through. Yeah, happy with the progress today. Doesn't seem like much, but this is a big accomplishment, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is the end of today. We've been working on the van for about 6 hours. I've foil taped all around the Earthwool, around the kingspan insulation, top and bottom. And fed the rest of the wires through and foil taped around our fans. Tomorrow we'll be doing the other side, and then we will be doing the roof.
So the plan for tomorrow is to fill these ribs with Earthwool, foil tape it. Reflectix is going over the top of everything. There's gaps in the roof which we're left for wiring, but for the wiring we're going to just tape it along here and stuff. So we're going to fill these gaps with Earthwool and foil tape over it, and all this is going to be Reflectix. We're going to daisy chain the LEDs, positive to positive, negative to negative, the whole time, all the way. And I've run the main wire at the back, and then we're going to be going from that one to the next one to the next one and so on. So once we've done that, we can tape all the wires where they need to be, and then the Reflectix can have a little hole in. But we know that behind the Reflectix we've also foil taped everywhere to make it vapor tight, so to speak. So it's going to have like a kind of a double vapor barrier, the Reflectix and the foil tape behind, because we're going to be putting holes in for the LEDs.
This is where we're going to leave today's video, so thank you all for watching. Please hit the like button to support our channel, and if you would like to see future videos, please hit subscribe and the notification bell.